How did Line Rider transform my life? What is Line Rider? It is a classic sandbox game where you draw lines for a sledder to ride on. Very simple concept, which makes a fun and interesting place. I remember the memories of being on this game, creating and drawing whatever my mind drifted to, which is what I'll talk about in this video. I will break down how I discovered Line Rider, I'll commentate about some of the tracks I made, and most importantly, I will sum up why I absolutely recommend this art medium, with the amazing ability to imagine and tell stories just through lines. First, before I talk about how Line Rider transformed my life, it makes sense to talk about its notable background, as it will give a full understanding to what this game is about. Boshin Cadez, who was at the Academy of Arts and Design, was assigned to do an art project by his school's illustration class. Since Cadez had previous programming experience in developing VJ sets, flash games on the web, and visual effects for Advanced Visualization Studio, he planned his project at the start to be coded animation software. With that, plus pages of his sketchbook drawings as reference, his first idea for the project was a combination of pre-coding and traditional frame-by-frame animation where the person using the software animated just by drawing with their mouse and could alter on the fly. Cadez found inspiration from the program ChronoDraw, which he placed the drawing and control mechanics from it into his creation. He then found a page of his sketchbook that displayed a character sledding on a line, which brought him memories as a bored child in primary school, drawing and doodling a figure sledding down those lines, with jumps, cliffs, and other stuff. It hit him that it would be fun to imagine how cool it would be to watch these creations go live. These doodlings and sketches, as well as ChronoDraw, would become the foundation and inspiration of Cadez's project. And after more than a year working on it, he finally got it finished, and posted Line Rider to his DeviantArt account, Fisk, on September 23, 2006. Line Rider became an instant hit, garnering 10,000 views in less than 24 hours. By October of 2006, it had collected over 4 million clicks. This was a success. The name for the sled character was to be Bosch, and the interesting little game grew a following. Track makers like TechDog, who constructed the amazing and breathtaking scenery of Transcendental, Unconed, who illustrated the amazing adventure of Jagged Peaked Adventure, and Shadow Ninja, who displayed his creative and innovative ideas through Super Mario Bros. First level. These names and many others dominated the Line Rider scene in the late 2000s. This introduction will help you to know Line Rider and its history before I talk about my experience with the place and how it changed my life, because we'll skip 12 years into the future in 2018 where it all started. I discovered Line Rider after a year when a user by the name of Doodle Chaos, who was interested in making content through visual synchronization, uploaded his Mountain King to YouTube. The moment I saw his video, I was instantly connected to it, because I was a hardcore classical music fan from the womb. When my mom was pregnant with me and my twin brother, she listened to classical tunes such as Tchaikovsky and Beethoven that helped to develop the early connection of listening to this music. When I viewed Doodle's Mountain King, I was amazed by his enjoyable video, which starts slow in the beginning, but as the track moves forward, it gets more tense, as how it is in the music that Grieg composed, with shapes Bosch bangs on and increasing speed causing you to be hooked to the movements and what will happen next. The track ends when the sledder slams into a final set of lines, calling the end to the dramatic showpiece. This, as well as Doodle's Beethoven's Fifth, introduced me to the world of Line Rider. My first ever track was literally a recreation from his Mountain King, which I tried to create my own feel and version for it, and not only being a viewer of one's work, but a creator. Seeing how Line Rider worked for myself and being exposed to the tools that were new to me. Long story short, it was a fun little project to work on. I remember creating a 2-part video series called Trip to the Beach, which the premise had Bosch traversing through scenery to reach the resting place of a nice and relaxing beach. I remember not knowing how to screen record from my iPad and filming the whole matter from my LG phone. Hey, at least I was having fun. Now, after having worked on my first few tracks, I did many more. And I really want to talk about a specific 3 that show my mind being filled with creative ideas and storylines, which encouraged me to be a storyteller and commentator here on YouTube, documenting many different anecdotes and personal experiences. These 3 can hopefully make you see where I'm getting at with this game and why I absolutely recommend it, with the ability to tell interesting stories. I would be at for hours working on these tracks, which gave Sprout to amazing works that I feel very proud of today. This is why I recommend you invest your time in this game to see what masterpieces of art you could end up creating. The end result is something that you can truly treasure. From Line Rider, these are the 3 that I would like to expressively detail separately. Let's get into it. The first in this list is titled Lebensraum No. 3, from the final and famous piece of a set of 3 works composed by Hungarian virtuoso pianist Franz Liszt. Yes, I really appreciate classical and romantic music. After finishing this project, I accidentally altered one of the lines in the beginning section, which as a result messed up the entire track. I was crying. Even when I did it all over again and tried to upload it to YouTube, a copyright issue stopped me from publishing it. I screamed a million profanities. The track starts slow, and moments of pauses in the music cause Bosch to travel up steep hills, and moments of more legato and dreamish sections cause the writer to flow smoothly on the lines and back, which really captures the feel and mood that I was going for. Bosch ramps up in speed, and when it gets to a point where he can't stop his continual movement, he swirls in color and emotion and eventually, everyone loses their time in the zone, and Bosch topples off what seems like a never-ending staircase. This returns him back to the initial peace and calmness, just like in the beginning of the track. Bosch reflects on his journey. He feels he has a little bit of energy inside of him, but as the track gets more slow, more heavy, more plodding, he comes to a state of final rest. The sledder thinks about what he did for the day and what more he could have accomplished. I love this interesting story because it is a resemblance of a person who has a burning fire to work and get things done, but eventually gets out of the zone and returns back to their dreariness and sleep. This is why whenever you have that energy, make the most use of your time. The second track is titled No Time for Caution. The description simply reads, "The world is being destroyed. Bosch is assigned a mission to find a new planet to save human life. The writer travels through a wormhole to another galaxy to find the right planet to bring a new life and world. However, in the galaxy, Bosch has to avoid falling asteroids, moving waves, and lines to complete the mission." This track and its music is inspired by the movie Interstellar. In particular, a scene where the main character, Cooper, travels through a wormhole. I recreated this amazing cinematic scene into Line Rider. I love this track because it feels like there is a mission you have to accomplish. If you screw this up, the world dies and is completely lost. I imagine the intense pressure of the writer, trying to keep up his pace and making sure that he reaches safely to his desired location, but also trying to hurry up because he doesn't have that much time left. Hence the name, No Time for Caution. This is a dangerous journey. Bosch requires full concentration for this task. You can't mess up this big of a responsibility. The last track I'll talk about in this list is titled Hidden Underground. This was more of an experimental work, which is the reason why it holds this amazing scenery. Anyway, let's get into the piece. This is a strange place that Bosch lives in. His abode is underground, with vines, trees, and abandoned pillars. After he takes a stroll in his residence, he heads near the surface, where it displays a beautiful night sky, and what seems to be an otherworldly civilization. He swoops down, braces for the cave, and returns back to where he started. Okay, let's break this down. This track is a resemblance of a person who comes out every night to see the beauty of the dark sky in the city, just like looking through a telescope to see the stars up close. He is fascinated by this new strange world that he has never seen or heard of before, And when he heads back home, he thinks about the encounter. He talks about it to himself and waits for the next night to come out and be a witness to it all again. Isn't it amazing to see such wonderful and mysterious things? The celestial stars glow and show their full brightness and allure at night. It's the best time to be there. You have to be there. After having reviewed the tracks I wanted to talk about in this video, which you can also watch my playlist containing all my other Line Rider content, you can't deny that this fun sandbox game, or art medium, or toy, or whatever you want to call it, is a powerful way to tell stories. Almost like writing a book or constructing a film before your eyes. Many people definitely agree with my statement. A founder of a fan site called LineRider.org examined that Line Rider's popularity was attributed to its unique ability for users and players to bring out their creativity, in opposition to other games that always looked the same and had less features. An article written by MGML also gives similar remark on this unique game, saying that behind the seeming simplicity of it, there stands a long period of dedicated programming and thorough thought, which enabled the web toy to become a teaching aid and subject to scientific papers on physicality and gravity. Line Rider has had a huge impact on me growing up, and I absolutely love it, because it is not only a game that you play whenever you have free time at your school computer, but it unlocks the brain with the ability to create art. One that explores a person, one that has a mission, and one that brings lines to life. Just as how Cadiz brought his sketches and drawings to life that formed a whole community of artistic and expressive track makers. I recommend that you stop right now and try Line Rider if you are interested in pursuing visual arts and storytelling just like me. I hope you enjoyed this video and my amazing journey with Line Rider, especially the ones who crave the art medium just like me. I would like to talk about another LR track that I made that I found interesting, which will give the highlights for my next video. I produced my own music in GarageBand titled Let Me Introduce Myself to specifically use for a track. It has cool tricks and visualization that really captures the feel and vibe of the music. The full video will be linked in the description, which you can check out. Since bringing up the topic of music, I plan for my next video to talk about an influential music producer / composer that I believe has changed our lives. Music, just like Line Rider, is important because, like the game, it explores the realm of creativity with the ability to tell stories and express emotions. Thanks for your time and interest, and make sure to subscribe to my channel because I talk about many wholesome and inspiring stories here that you may enjoy. See you, Squarians!